to another episode of Awesome Heat. We're back for another week, issue number 2, show number 2. I'm your man, Prime Time. Call me Prime, call me Time, call me Dia. And my mama named me Dia, and it doesn't matter. But I'm rambling. I'm here with my main man, Rufus. Rufus, talk to the people.
I'm Gavin, man. How y'all doing this week, man? Welcome to another episode of Awesome Heat. We about to get intense.
Yeah, so a few topics that came to mind for this week, because we got a lot. Rufus and I are big Dexter fans, or at least I was in there until some things happened. I think like the majority of everybody was. But this week, Dexter released a sort of teaser video, if you haven't seen it, or teaser trailer, if you haven't seen it. I know Rufus has some thoughts on it. He said he watched it about 50 or so times. I watched it 3. We'll see where we fall there. So Rufus, first question up. With Dexter returning, biggest question that we have for that is, can that show redeem itself after that very, very unsatisfying finale or season finale from about how many years? 7, 10 years? It's been a good while.
What was it? 17 years? It was 9 years, something around.
Yeah, so can it redeem itself off of that?
I think so, because spoiler alert. So at the end of the show, there was a huge hurricane. Look, at the end of Dexter season 8, there was a huge hurricane where practically everybody died in Florida, basically. Dexter's boat crashed, and everybody thought Dexter was dead. So, with no one knowing where Dexter is, there are still serial killers out there. Somebody got to put him in check. Why not Dexter?
Well, real quick. Well, when you're going over that, let me read the quick synopsis that I pulled. It says, America's favorite serial killer, Dexter Morgan, is back on Showtime in a new 10-episode limited series coming this fall. Set 10 years after Dexter Morgan went missing in the eye of Hurricane Laura, the revival sees the character now living under an assumed name in a world away from Miami in a small upstate New York town called Iron Lake. There's our synopsis.
And he's in New York. Oh, the greatest place to catch motherfuckers.
It's a little town. It's a little town outside of New York. So he's still working within a little bit of a box.
But still, it's New York. Come on, dude. Come on.
This is true. But yeah,
he can hunt forever in New York. Look,
the biggest question, Rufus, is it going to be satisfying?
For me, man, I hate to say it like this. God, this is gonna make me sound like I'm crazy. Yeah. I can't wait to see my boy killing people. Pretty much, yeah. I think it's gonna be pretty damn satisfying. Listen, on the trailer, I know Dexter had his kill room set up, motherfucker in the back wiggling and shit. It's about to go down. I know this season is gonna be hype. Might be a couple of characters I'm gonna miss from.
I'm gonna miss Batista. That's who I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, the most. I love
Batista was my guy, man. Angel was my guy. I loved him, his hats, his swagger. I mean, he was my guy, man. I watched basically for Batista.
Plenty of characters I'm gonna miss, but the main characters, my man, Dexter Morgan.
He killed him, but never mind. Yeah. We're getting off topic. You're making me go through the characters I like. Okay,
I'm sorry. All right, back to the point. I'm excited about Dexter. If you know Dexter and you know the story of Dexter, if you have not seen the trailer, please go to YouTube and watch the trailer. You'll be just excited as I am. If you were ever excited about Dexter, the TV series on Showtime.
I have some personal notes on this one. Okay. I think it's going to be a very big uphill battle to, like, you're excited. I'm somewhat excited about it. I think it's an uphill battle just because how unsatisfying that last season really was. And I jumped off. I mean, I rode the boat in the hurricane with him when he and his sister started that really strange relationship. Right. Granted, not biological brother and sister, but brother and sister nonetheless. Right. And then she, after that, acts to sort of, spoiler alerts on this one, acts to, kill people for her. Right. Like it was I felt like that moment when she found out was like the most impactful thing Dexter had done to end the season. And then we jump into that season where I'm expecting, I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but I wasn't expecting that to go
Right.
that way for me because him
But
getting caught was the thrill of all those seasons for me.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
how does he get out of this predicament?
right.
How does he, you know, put evidence here? How does he get this guy? I mean, uh, I think it's gonna be tough just because right now in the world that we're in now, I don't think it had that shock value to it at the time. Like the more more shows have gotten equally or even more outrageous than what any of those Dexter seasons used to be. So how do you
But
top that
wait,
level every single time too?
here's the difference.
Mm,
Great writing can take your show to the next level. And on Dexter, there was really good writing, and there were really good special guest serial killers on Dexter.
yes.
So that's another thing that took that show to the next level. Like you didn't expect, some of the characters that came that were serial killers. Like,
Who,
wait a
who,
minute, what?
who
That's
was
what you were
what?
like. It was fucking awesome. Like that's what I'm expecting for this number 9. Like you, because in every season of Dexter, he had some type of nemesis serial killer that he had to get. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so in your mind for this one, you think it's 10 episodes? It's a limited series. The articles say that they shot it like a movie. So
Mhm.
imagine like a 10 episode sort of movie is how they shot this movie. They shot this TV show. Can and my biggest our biggest question for this debate is can it redeem itself after how lackluster it sort of
Okay,
ended, man?
I'm
And
gonna
how
say
can they do
yes.
that? How can they do
I'm gonna
that?
say yes because of the writing. I know the writing is going to be on point. I know the acting is going to be on point. I'm just waiting to see who his nemesis is going to be in this season, season 9. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm excited about this one. So I say yes, they can redeem themselves from that horrible hurricane episode.
I think for me, it's gonna take a lot. I'm going in with a few not as high expectations because I love Dexter. That show, I remember I didn't watch it while I was on Showtime, but when Netflix got it, when I was in college, the first few seasons, I was like, oh my God, I need to finish this right now. And a homeboy down the
Yeah.
hallway
Yeah.
who had the DVDs. So
Yeah.
once I finished what was on Netflix, I went down to his dorm and borrowed the DVDs. Marcus Carter, what's up, man?
Yeah.
But like it's just one of those things where it's gonna be tough for me, man, because that moment where Morgan found out, where Deborah found out, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, that should have been way more impactful coming into that next season. And it did hit. And I'm hoping with this big long gap, uh, even after that, they were like revival series and stuff like that about Dexter or something like that between like when it ended to now. So I think like what you said, they've had enough time to sort of sit and
Yeah.
let that whole thing marinate. It's like even Michael C. Hall has come out and said like, okay, that was a very unsatisfying last season as well. They
Yeah.
know that it wasn't good. They know it's not what
Everybody,
fans wanted.
yeah, no one really enjoyed the last 3 episodes of the last season. But we sat through it and we cringed through it because it's Dexter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just knew something that was awesome was coming at the end, and that awesome moment never came. And that's what a lot of people were like,
Hmm.
what the fuck? So that's why I say I think personally they are going to redeem themselves, especially if they have the same writers. And listen, people, no, I didn't go and do no research to find out who was writing these fucking episodes. It don't fucking matter. It's fucking Dexter. I'm gonna
it's
watch this shit. We're both gonna watch it, and we're gonna tell you what we think about it.
it's the same crew from the original series is what I believe what I saw.
And if
So
that's the case, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
yeah, so again, a big gap for them in between the last episode and now. Looking forward to it. See it definitely if you haven't, go and watch that trailer
Please
because
go
it
check it out.
gives you that little hint. Because before I can honestly tell you, I watched that trailer before uh, Rufus and I got on because he told me about it, and I wasn't super excited about it. But then once you watch that trailer, even it changed my notes on this for today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you see that Dexter smile at the end. I'm like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
God, they got me again. They got
Yeah.
me again. So,
you just
but
you want to watch, you want to start the series, you want to start watching it right then.
yeah, but definitely we'll be watching it. We'll go episode by episode because that was a series that we both really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And we'll get everybody's take on it. We'll come back here, ups, downs, evens. We'll do it all here. But yeah, Dexter, I think it's gonna be an uphill battle. But if they're able to pull it off, this might be one of the best little comeback series.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we came back for our chip this year.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and
Let's go ahead
let's
and
get
get
what
that.
we missed out on.
Let's go ahead and get that ring.
Exactly. All right. So moving on from Dexter, I think Ruth is going to like this topic because I have a certain. I enjoy this actor. I enjoy everything he's done. I enjoy him as a wrestler. I enjoy him as a comedian. I enjoy him as everything. The Rock is Black Adam. That movie is set, I believe, releasing next year. I think they already have their cast and
Yeah.
stuff ready for it. Very, very deep cast. But before we get into the cast, um, Rufus, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts? And we've talked about this off camera. What are your thoughts about The Rock being a quote unquote anti hero? Before you answer that, let me read the story of Black Adam just so we highlight this, okay? You mind if I read it?
Go on, reach,
Do you
reach
mind
the
if I read
story.
it? Okay. The
Reach the
story of
story.
Shazam, this is courtesy of DC Universe Infinite.com. Uh, Thousands of years before Billy Batson became a magically empowered hero, the wizard Shazam selected another champion. It was Mighty Adam. That's who his champion was.
Mm-hmm.
He began as a hero of humanity, but then allowed his power to corrupt his ideals and desires. Now labeled Black Adam, he was exiled by Shazam, but returned in the modern day. A frequent enemy of Earth's heroes, Black Adams believed he is the right person to lead humanity, and any action he takes is necessary for the greater good. So the people's champion, The Rock,
Right.
is Black Adam. How do you feel about him being an anti-hero, which is very loosely in my vocabulary as
Okay.
an anti-hero?
All right. So here we go. Uh, The Rock, Mister One Eyebrow. I can't even do this shit. Fuck all that.
I've been practicing since
But
'98.
listen, okay. Here's what I see the problem is. Black Adam is a villain,
Yes,
but everybody loves The Rock.
that's why I'm torn.
So you go into this already rooting for the villain.
I'm torn.
It's weird because I like Black Adam.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if he made my list of villains, but or how high is he on my list? But
see, he's one of those villains, kind of like U.S. Agent. And if you don't know who U.S. Agent is, please go check out our last episode of Captain America. But
cheap plug.
listen, kind of like U.S. Agent, goes back and forth. Might save some motherfuckers, but he also might kill some bitches. You never know. But how I feel about The Rock playing Black Adam, I like it. I think he's going to pull it off. I think he's going to do a great job. Now, Dion, sitting over there right now, is torn completely in half because he has no which way.
May I explain a little bit? Can I explain a little bit? Rufus has called me out basically because I don't enjoy villain movies.
But he loves The Rock.
But I love The Rock. But here's the thing: I've already made, and let me go into the villain thing. I don't want to see a Joker story. I just like for him to show up, and we know the Killing Joke. We know he had one bad day, and that's what turned him into what he turned in. And we had all these other origin stories with Joker. Fine, great, whatever. I don't want to feel any form of sympathy for a villain. I don't. And I don't I like my villain. I like a villain and I like a hero. That dynamic. I like that clashing. Now Rufus will bring up Suicide Squad, where I will say in rebuttal, they're all villains doing a good thing, but if they don't do a good thing, they're bam, Amanda Waller's pushing that button and their brains are on the table.
but yet and
So,
still you're emotionally connected to all of those villains doing good stuff.
but they're
Still.
villains. But if they don't do the good thing, they're done.
So get back to this Black Adam.
Yeah.
How do you feel about The Rock as Black Adam? And let me say this before you continue. Look, someone villain can be a hero to somebody.
Well, every villain thinks that he's the hero or he or she is the
so
hero of their own
so
story.
in Black Adam's mind, when he saved his country at the time when Shazam gave him his powers, he was a hero to millions. Okay. Now, in this day and time, when he comes and they start whooping up on Shazam's ass, who is our hero, and we see this happen, we automatically think, oh, that's the villain.
This is true.
So where you gonna go from there when he come down to just start whooping the shit out of the little Shazam?
Well, here's my thing. I've given that. I just thought about this while you were talking about how The Rock feels as a villain. I've given him that pass, and that was his. I gave him his first pass at this in his first starring role as the Scorpion King.
Oh,
He
wow.
was he not a villain in Mummy
He was a bad
Returns?
guy. Yeah,
And
he
then
was a
we
bad
wrap
guy.
right, and then we wrap back right about, around and give him a movie where
And
he's the
gave him his
hero.
whole movie. Yeah.
You know what? I've given Rock the green light to be a hero, a villain, a hero. Do whatever the hell you want to, man. I'm gonna go see it.
So
But with him being like this anti-hero, I'm anxious to see where the story leads to. And we saw that trailer that they came out. I think it was DC Fandom last
yeah,
year, um, and we saw that story, and it's a very interesting story. It's a guy who's been beaten down, oppressed. His people need him. He comes back, saves his people. Again, The Rock, the people's
right.
champion, comes back to save the people. It
And
writes
you gotta
itself.
think, dude. Just think about this. 5,000 years. You've been locked up for 5,000 years.
This is true. Yeah.
You full of hatred, anger, maybe
Mm-hmm.
some remorse. You don't know what you're gonna do when you get out of that magical prison that Shazam put you in. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So
So we're I guess we're both in agreement. Like I think if anybody can sort of pull off that, I don't even know if this word duality of flirt of riding that line.
yes,
I think The Rock is likable enough, super likable enough to be like, you know what? I don't care. We're gonna roll with him.
but I'm gonna tell you what would change your mind if he does something so despicable in this movie where you can be like, I don't know about that.
And that's gonna be tough
That's
for
the
me.
only way. That's the only way people are gonna be like, you know what? I don't like The Rock as Black Adam. He has to
Yeah.
do something extremely despicable, which Black Adam is known for doing despicable shit.
But see, this is like one time where again, The Rock keeps saying anti-hero. He's I think in an interview he said something about like he always wanted to be Superman, but he
Right.
knew that he himself was rebellious, was, you know, The Rock, basically.
Right.
Like,
Right.
imagine like The Rock could not be The Rock as a character. Let's take his wrestling character. Let's take him. That guy could never be Superman.
No.
Like the
No.
morals of Superman. I mean, you can only get so far calling people candy asses, man.
Yeah.
You know. But like I think he can pull that off. I'm anxious to see that because really, when you look at that cast, he would have Pierce Bronson as Doctor Fate,
Yeah.
and then you have Aldous Hodge as
As
Hawkman.
Hawkman. Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked him up yet, but he's in superhero shape to
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
Hawkman.
He is.
I think this movie is going to be really good, and I don't know where this falls in whatever universe DC is using because I think we need to have like a long form discussion on
Yeah.
on DC and their universe because they're getting away by saying Batman's on the Robert
Earth 2.
Pattinson's Batman is on Earth 2. Like
Right.
that's so we're done with Affleck, I guess, but that's neither here nor there. I feel like this Black Adam is in the world of Henry Cavill's Superman, or
Right.
and obviously Shazam is in that universe too,
And let
given
me
how he showed up at the end, which I
right.
hated that cameo because that wasn't Henry Cavill, and that
No.
Superman looked weak.
Yeah, that he did. So let me say this though before we end the segment.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So you asked how do I feel about him being an anti-hero? Because let me tell you what's gonna happen. first Black Adam is gonna come in, he gonna do some despicable shit. Then Superman gonna have to come down and whoop
Mhm.
his ass, and then he gonna end up fighting Superman before Shazam show up, and then everybody gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
And let's
And
not
that's when
forget,
everybody's gonna be like, "Well, maybe I don't like The Rock no more, or
and
maybe
let
I don't
well,
like Black Adam right
you
now."
don't like Black Adam,
Right,
yeah, because I
right,
think we're always gonna like The Rock.
right.
Let's not forget, his agent. The Rock has like I think she's his agent. Rock's ex-wife. I forgive me for not remembering her name, but that's Henry Cavill's agent too.
Yeah,
So and even like years back, and I'll see if I can find the picture and put it up here. Henry
dude,
Cavill and The Rock are at a table together.
dude, that
So could you imagine the People's Champion
yes,
and Henry Cavill, who is,
yes,
let's be honest, quintessentially, he
yeah,
is
yeah, bro,
Superman and he deserves his
yeah,
his rightful due as Superman. He's deserved a Man of Steel 2 movie because that first movie came out in 2013, right?
yeah,
The man didn't get a sequel. Yeah, Batman versus Superman, you can say that was a sequel, more of a Batman movie. Um, that guy has been Superman. And to see his Superman go up against how it looks like this Rock, Black Adam's
yeah.
going to
Black
be,
Adam's gonna be, yeah,
you want to,
that's gonna
that's
be
the Zod,
intense.
that's the Zod fight times
Well, I'm
10.
gonna say it's gonna be just as intense as watching Black Adam and Superman go at it in the comic books, watching
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam and Superman go at it on Superman animated series or any of the Superman movies or Justice League movies.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just as intense, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, this gets me a little bit because, and I will go into our next topic in a second, but this gets me for a little bit because I can't remember the dynamics of this. Since it's all magic, how weak is Superman going to be? Because obviously magic is
Is a weakness
a
to you.
weakness.
Well, and then here's the thing: as long as the sun is out, Superman kicks ass.
He's just gonna keep punching. Okay. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, what magical spell could we have to, block the sun or turn it red? I don't know. But I'm honestly looking forward to this movie because again, I'm looking at going in and seeing how they make you love The Rock for this
Yeah.
movie as an anti-hero,
Or how
and
they,
then
let's
see
stop
him.
saying The Rock, how they make you love Black Adam as an anti-hero.
Perfect. I can get on board with you saying it that way because
Right,
I've been down with The Rock since 1998. Ever since that
right.
man joined the Nation of Domination and won the Intercontinental title, raised the eyebrow, beat up Farouk, became the People's
Oh
Champion,
yeah.
People's Elbow. We need a wrestling podcast, Rivers. Remember that. All right, moving on. Talking about like wrestling or versus. Another extended cut of this attempted Awesome Heat show, we talked about Godzilla versus Kong. We went on
Yeah.
a little bit in depth. It's given some time to sort of let it marinate to come back and see. I don't know if our opinions changed on that, but here's the question for this one, Rufus. What were your thoughts on the movie, and is there any reason in this world to continue this monster verse that they've created, in your opinion?
Okay. First of all, yes, there's a reason to continue the
Please tell
monster
me, because
verse
I don't. I mean,
because understand something. Uh Look, fucking people just love watching monsters, man. I mean, come on, be for real.
I
What else would you watch? People, what else would y'all watch if it wasn't monsters and superheroes and shit? Come on. So, yes, I do believe they need to continue with the Monsterverse. Um, because I personally like, I love seeing giant monsters go at it, and especially King Kong versus Godzilla, two of the epic, two of the epic monsters that everybody know going at it because you love Kong for his, what he does when he gets to fighting, and you love Godzilla for all the damage that he causes when he gets upset.
think my biggest thing would be like, have we seen enough of this universe? And my answer, full on answer, after seeing this last movie, uh, I could wait a few more years until another one comes out. Or a reboot happens because
Okay,
we've gone through these series of movies, and I don't know if that ending was even satisfying. I mean, it.
see, you're saying that
Go
because
ahead.
you're saying that because we've gotten what was it? Four King Kong movies since was it 2000? When did that King Kong movie
With the
come out?
Peter Jackson
Yes,
King
when did the
Kong.
Peter Jackson come
I'm
out?
not sure.
So
It was early.
so we've gotten what, five King Kong movies since then, right? And what, four or five new Godzilla movies since 1999, was it, with Matthew Broderick?
Oh,
Or was
phew.
that 2000?
That was somewhere around there.
Okay.
That Diddy song was still hot.
So
If you haven't heard it,
yeah,
go
that
back
is
and
still hot.
come to
So
me.
that's why you're probably feeling like, okay, I'm kind of a little over monsters. But you gotta think, think about this. I just want you to think about this. Think about the people that came before us that watched Godzilla and King Kong.
This is I
They
understand that.
still want to see Godzilla and King Kong. Just like we get excited, so really excited about superheroes, they get really excited about seeing, King Kong, Godzilla, Mothra, and all these monsters.
And that's the
You know
thing
what I'm saying?
and that's the thing I understand. But if we could have a little time, let that movie marinate, I think they started out with a really definite time period sort of
Yeah.
scale. Kong was during Vietnam, and then we get to Bryan Cranston's Godzilla, and then we get to King of Monsters, and then we get to this. Like, it's just like the discussion we had. We weren't sure, like, where did
What time zone we were in, or what time area
where
we
did
were
all
in?
this technology just show up from? And
Right.
then I remember the Hollow Earth stuff very vaguely.
Right.
It's like they shoved two movies into one when I felt
Right.
like they could have gotten. I'm not saying you could have gotten a lot of real estate or two movies out of this thing, but it jumped so drastically for me from what was it, King of Monsters or whatever,
Right.
to this where I was like, I'm a little, I felt a little out of the loop about it. And
Okay.
then,
So
real quick, the human elements of all these movies, but aside from the Kong Skull Island did it really well. The human element with Sam Jackson, and then
right.
um, and everybody, Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, like they were fine. I didn't mind when we cut to those scenes, um, but when we have like all the Godzilla movies, I didn't enjoy cutting to the human parts. Or even with this one, I didn't really enjoy
I
those
didn't
parts
either,
either.
except for the little comedic moments with the conspiracy guy. You know what I'm
True,
saying?
he's a
Because he
fantastic
was
actor.
funny.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
he's a
saying?
fantastic actor.
And to answer the first question, how do I feel about the movie? I thought the movie was okay. I'm not gonna, it wasn't a great movie for the simple fact that, it's kind of crazy how I break down movies and movie science and the science in the movies. I know it does not match, and no, it's not real science, people. I'm not crazy sometimes. But anyway, the
If we
thing is, I enjoyed it, especially the fight scenes. And I agree with one thing you said, that they maybe could have split this up into two movies. It seemed like they put two movies in one movie. I think if they would have just given us a really great Godzilla and King Kong fight and ended it instead of bringing in Mecha Godzilla, I think it would have been great. And then on the next turn, bring in Mecha Godzilla. You know what I'm saying?
something of that form would have worked, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot about the Hollow Earth stuff. Which when we went back to that, I was like, well, shoot, I'm super lost. I felt like I needed a refresher
Right.
before I could really fully jump into that. My review of it, I mean, you give me the fights, I'm cool with it. All the rounds go to Godzilla though, if you haven't seen it already. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, we both like Kong. Kong is super cool. I like elements of it. I like the fact that he learns to sign. That was big for me. Now, we would have had a whole different story if he busted out Caesar and was like, "I'm
Yeah. And start
Caesar
talking.
is home." Remember, side note, remember when he said that how James Franco looked? James
Yes.
Franco looked like, "You're home.
Right.
You are home.
Right.
I'm going this way
I'm gonna
though."
leave. I'm gonna leave right now. Dude,
Caesar is home. James Franco was like, well,
man,
you
that
are home,
you
aren't
talking
you?
about a way better Planet of the Apes than Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes.
Oh my God, we need to
But
talk
that's
about
neither here
that.
nor there. We
Those
not
were
finna we not finna
those
get
are
off subject.
those are fantastic movies all the
But we
way from
not finna get
beginning
off
to end.
subject though.
I'm sorry.
Let's back to King Kong
Okay. You remember
and Godzilla.
Remember that Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes had an ape that looked like Michael Jackson?
Yes,
How in the world did
yes.
that get greenlit? But anyway,
We're gonna discuss that one day. But but listen, so
did he
okay,
kiss
back
her
to this
too?
one. My goodness, we gonna go there.
I'm sorry. I'm just I'm just saying. Did Mark Wahlberg kiss the ape too?
It kissed him. Okay, that's how that
I
went.
need to go back and rewatch that because
It
it
kissed
threw
him.
me for a
Yes, it
loop.
did. It did. Yeah. So that whole Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes was just crazy. But that's neither
Yeah,
here
you just got me thinking about
nor over there.
it. Go ahead.
Let's get back right here,
Okay,
sir.
we're here.
Um, King Kong versus Godzilla.
Mhm.
Rank it. What do you give it? How many flames?
Flames of this one, I mean, out of 5 flames, I'll give it a solid 3 flames.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
if the fights,
3 flames.
if not for the fights, that movie, I'm not gonna, I mean, you go for Godzilla versus Kong, so I mean, you're gonna have fights. Uh, those were really well done. I thought the CGI in it was fantastic. The
Yeah.
lighting when they were in Tokyo were great.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff was great. It looked like it was a fantastic looking movie. So I like to be visually pleased with my eyes when it comes to CG and stuff, and that's why I pretty much got a 3 for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it over. Yeah, I give it 3 flames too.
3, all right.
So I'm gonna give it 3 flames, and here's my reason why I'm giving it 3 flames. Um, the CGI was great. The fight scenes were awesome,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed all the technology, even though the time era placement was very confusing on this movie. I enjoyed all the technology. I thought it was fucking cool. You know what I'm saying?
Does it
But
get a set? I mean, does it get some follow up? Do you continue this monster verse after this, or just
you got,
this
like
is
I
it?
said, here's the thing. People love to watch monsters on the big screen. People love to watch monsters battle it out. People love to
Mhm.
watch monsters destroy shit. So of course, if the people love this movie, they are gonna green light a second one.
And
So
it's got massive numbers on HBO Max. So
right,
again, if that's just at HBO Max, imagine if this movie was fully out in
right.
theaters.
In
Of how,
theaters.
because I honestly was one of the people at home thinking to myself, man, I wish I could be in a movie theater
It
watching this
would have
right now.
sounded awesome
I think
in a
my
movie
I
theater.
think that would have upped it one more flame, but since I was at home on like my 50 inch or
And another
so, it
thing
was
was, and another thing that got me was the music. I love the music of this movie. So
yeah, it was great. But yeah, 3 for me, 3 for you. I can't believe we came out to it even. For my answer to the Monsterverse, I think it ended. I think we leave it for a little while, go down 10 years and reopen that property like Hollywood does with everything else. But yeah, that's our show for this week. If you have any questions or not questions, I'm gonna feel like a teacher. If you have any comments, make sure you drop them below. And Rufus, tell the people where they can find us.
all right, people, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at awesome_heat. You can also follow us on Facebook at Awesome Heat, and you can come and watch our videos on YouTube at Awesome Heat. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you let us know what you want us to talk about, we will talk about it. If you comment, we will get back to you in a timely fashion.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.